Hello, viewers, and welcome to another session of Brain Maths. In this video, we want to try to generate the quadratic formula that is also called the almighty formula. This formula is used when you are trying to solve any quadratic equation that you find very difficult to solve by factorization method or the completing the square method. And the formula is generated from the general form of quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is the general form of all quadratic equation, whereas the a is the coefficient of x squared, the b is the coefficient of x, and c is our constant. So using the completing the square method, by completing the square method, you don't forget what we have done in our previous lesson in the completing the squares method. The first thing you will do when you are presented with any quadratic equation that you are trying to solve using the completing the square method is to divide through by the coefficient of x squared. And the coefficient of x squared in this is the a. So we are going to be dividing through. That's our step 1. Divide through by coefficients of x squared, and that is talking about a. So we say ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 divided by a, all true. So we are going to be left with x squared plus bx over a plus c over a equals 0. The second step is to take the constant to the right hand side, and the constant in this is c over a. So step 2, take the constant to right hand side. So we have x squared plus bx over a equals, the positive c over a will becomes negative c over a. And step 3 is to find half of the coefficients of x and square it. Looking at this, the coefficient of x here is b over a. So we are going to find half of that and then the square of it. So we say 1 over 2 times b over a, all squared. So this is going to give us 1 times b, 2 times a, 2a, all squared. And this will be added. Add to both sides. So when you are adding to both sides, you are not going to be repeating b over a again, since we have generated the half square of the coefficients of x. So we have x squared is the only thing we are taking here to be added to b over 2a squared equals, we have minus c over a on this right hand side to be added as well to b over 2a all squared. So square is common to these two, so we factor the two of them. X plus b over 2a all squared equals minus c over a plus, when you open this bracket, you have b squared, that is b times b, and the square of 2a, 2 times 2, 4, a times a squared. So we are going to be having this on the right hand side. So the next step is to simplify this. For x, we are going to find the LCM of a and 4a squared, and that is 4a squared without doubt. How many a can we get in this? That is 1. We are going to be left with 4a. 4a times minus c, we have minus 4ac, plus 4a squared in 4a squared, 1. 1 times b squared, that is b squared. Don't forget the left hand side, we still have our x plus b over 2a squared. So looking at the right hand side, it is better for us to bring the positive to the front and let the negative go inside. So we have b squared minus 4ac everything over 4a squared, which is equals to x plus b over 2a all squared. So the next thing is to remove this square from here, and to remove the square, we find the square root of both sides. Find the square root of both sides. So finding the square root of both sides lead us to x plus b over 2a squared square root equals plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. This square root, we cancel this square. So we have x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus. We can get the square root of b squared, square root of 4, but we can't get the square root of a and c. So in that case, we leave the numerator as it is. But the denominator, it is possible for us to get the square root of 4, which is 2. Also possible for us to get the square root of a squared, which is a. So in that case, we have b squared minus 4ac all over square root of 4, 2, square root of a squared, a. The next thing is to move the factor on this side, which is not a factor of x, to the other side. So we are isolating every other thing to make x the subject now. So that is going to lead us to x equals this positive b over 2a will become minus b over 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. If you don't forget, when I was treating the quadratic equation by completing the square method, I said when you get to this point and you are not having the same denominators, it means your solution is wrong. So we have the same denominator, and we can say the LCM of the two sides is 2a. We are left with minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And this is our almighty formula. With this formula, it is possible for us to solve any quadratic equation without having any issue. And how do we solve the quadratic equation? Given that ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, this a is going to be the coefficient of x squared. Let's have a replica question. 2x squared plus 5x plus 1 equals 0. It is obvious that we cannot solve this kind of quadratic equation by any method except almighty formula or the completing the square method. So in this case, our a is going to be 2, our b will be 5, and our c will be 1. All we have to do is to identify these three and then slot them into the almighty formula and then simplify to get the value of our x. Before I move to the next topic, I'll stop here for now. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so, and try as much as possible to help us to send these to as many pages and many platforms as possible until I come your way again. Have a blessed day.